Uh, a very good afternoon to Dr. Malia and my fellow friends. Today, we would like to present about our topic, which is sex education should be included in the primary school. And we are from Group 4, Section 92. So before I start my introduction, let us consider why sex education is important at school level. And why is it need to be taught to the youth? So later we would be discussing all about this. So without further ado, let us start. Sex education is defined as to expand the knowledge of functional, structural, and behavioral aspect of human reproduction. However, it is still a debatable question in the view of society. And besides that, the cabinet had also approved the introduction of reproductive and social health education into the syllabus, school syllabus. As a result, there are 75% of parents support. Besides that, it is also reported that 160 pages of guideline have already been produced by the Ministries of Education and Women, Family, and Community Development. So thus, sex education is very important to reduce the sexuality infection among the youth. So I stop my introduction here, and Alexius will continue.
Thank you, Boon. For the second point is that sex education plays a pivotal role in creating awareness among members of the public. Why? Because we have to know that before all of us becomes member of the public, we are first students. And I have to say a quote from Nelson Mandela before, who quoted that the best weapon that we can use to change the world is through education. And this is why sex education is very important for us to change the perception of the youth in Malaysia, because it helps in them to understand the basic but still culturally prohibitive topics such as gender, puberty cycles, reproduction, and also sexual relationships, and most importantly, the basic human rights with the exposure of and prevention of sexual violence and gender equality through the means of sex education. And just as Voon pointed out just now, that the main purpose of sexual education is to reduce the risk of infection. In fact, in 2014, during a case study made by Fazli Khalaf et al. In an article called Sexuality Education in Malaysia, Perceived Issues and Barriers by Professionals, the HIV infection in Malaysia is 45% of them involve young people between the ages of 15 to 24 years of age, which also shows that sex education is important for young Malaysians, and also it provides accurate facts, concrete data, and appropriate and clinically proven information of human sexuality, including risk reduction strategies and contraception. The third point that I will going to bring up, however, is that sex education should be taught by highly trained teachers or professionals who are basically the specialists in this field, so that they can give more in-depth insight on sex education instead of just grouping them together only in one science subject textbook, which is normally found in secondary school education. The next point I will be going to pass it to Jiahui. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Alex. And the third point is that sex education is often overlooked in school and society, but it is actually a high quality teaching and learning about the topic related to sex that should be introduced to youth. The lack of sex education in school can be proved by the study did by Jaffa and Chan in 2009 that they have studied that there are 58.2% of students that the sexual knowledge provided by the current sexual education curriculum is inadequate. And next slide, please. And there are 33% of students that acquire most of the knowledge about sex education from friends, mass media, and then teachers. This gives proof to the lack of sex education in school may cause the youth to acquire the knowledge about sex education through an uncanonical ways like friends, mass media, or other pornographic source. Furthermore, majority of the parents are discomfort about discussing sex topic related issues with their children. Next. Thus, it might drive the teenager to the internet or other unreliable media source to find out more about the sex topic since they have no other ways to get the more information. According to the statistic from the article, 33% of students that their children usually reluctant to discuss the related topic, and they wanted their children to acquire the information from school. Hence, sex education is important and it should be implemented in school so that the youth can receive the proper information. And it also helps the youth to explore values and beliefs about those topics along with a skill building that are necessary to navigate the relationship and manage their own sexual health. And then I will pass to Kevin.
Right. Thank you, Jahui, Alex, and also Boon for the amazing points. But there is always why. There is always but, and that's why these points of arguments have always been trying to be approved by the government. But since then, it is not approved yet because there is always those people who doesn't want sex education to be introduced. Next one. Okay, so the first point is sex ed is nothing more than just exposing pornography. So this is because it is contrary to human nature, leading to seeking experience on sexual intercourse. So when they are watching pornography, they are contrary to human nature, because human nature, we are born to have sex on husband and wife, but not on other people. So, and then it leads to seeking experience on sexual intercourse because we have watched porn and we wanted to try it. And then Matthew Johnson said, young people who is still developing their sexuality frequently seeking pornography as a lesson to have knowledge of sex, and this will expose them to something that they are not ready for. Next. And there is always but. The truth is youth will always have access to porn. Nowadays, porn is all over the internet and it is one click away. But it is in the society's hand to reach out the youngster to avoid worse action than just watching porn. Let us think about abortion, sexual harassment, raping, and more. Next, please. And the second point came to main educators will burden the teachers. So this is from the Irish Times, 1997. It's stated that sex education should not be introduced to the youth because this will create a mindset of handling down a parenting role as the main educators to the respective teachers, who is only to build foundation that had been laid down by the main educators, which is the parents. So the parents should be open up to the children, and the parents should be the main educators, said the Irish Times. But, next one. There is always a but. But the real questions are, when will our youth will get such good education to promote better future? Who is to blame on all of this when they don't have this sex education? And where do we start? Because in all problems, in all solutions, there is a starting point. Let us look more into the future, where we can promote this sex education from a teacher, and then promoting to the children. And then when they have the sex education, and they will pass down to the children. So this is a future, it's a long-term planning. So this is where we are looking at. Next one. So to conclude our academic paper, the 3 points are: it creates awareness to the public, and also sexual health, and proven that the benefit of sex education that counteracts a lot of negative impacts, as mentioned by Alex, Chahui, and also Vun. That is all from our group. Thank you very much. Oh no, I forgot about the last one. It's okay.
The time. Yeah.